Okay everyone, we're back at her. This is like the button-up process. Don't know if everybody can see that burn or not over there. Yeah, right behind me there. That's the little burn we've been working on. So now I got to put the hinges on the doors. So just work with me on that for a sec. These are my doors here. Well, you won't be able to see them right now, but you can see them when I get them all installed. And I got some hinges. Usually come in like a silver, but I just spray painted these black so they'd match into everything. Because I prefer to have black if I can, just to match it all up, make it all flow well. Because why have black everything, and then this big ugly, this big ugly silver hinge. And same thing with the handles and the lasp. So I just got to take some screws out here so we can get this guy going. See how it's going to work out for us. Okay, so there's 12 screws that I need. I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but you'll see me in a minute. And with the screws here, I painted them black too, just gave them a quick spray paint on the top, just to try to bring them to the color of everything else that's here. Make it look as good as we can. I mean, you can't make them perfect, but you can make them damn close. And I could have went out and bought black screws and all that stuff. But honestly, for myself, I found that it was cheaper to just grab the burn kit I did get and just spray paint them. So maybe you'll find it cheaper for you as well if you decide to do your own project someday. Not much really happening right now, just putting some hinges on. Nothing to it. You just kind of find the one on top, bottom, or top, bottom, and then one in the middle here, right across this cross member. Line it up where you need it, make sure it's in place, put a screw in it. One thing about these screws, you kind of got to stop when it hits like this. Bring her down slow and stop it there, because if you start spinning it out, you're going to lose all that paint you just put on it. Kind of make it a little pointless to put the paint on it if you're just going to drill it right back off, or bottom it back out or something. So avoid that. Little things like that you can think of. Avoid them. Saves yourself a little headache down the road. So again, just a couple screws, nothing major. And the hinges as well. If you start bothering them or spinning out the screws, you might kick off the screw head and go into the hinge. And then there you are with a big silver mark coming through it. I don't think anybody wants that, so avoid that at all costs if you can. So there's one set, and I think this here is my bottom here, is it? Yeah, that's my bottom there on this door. So we'll get him ready to put on this side. We'll get the other door out here. I'll try to bring it out where you can see me. See what it looks like when it's coming out. So this here is what the doors look like. And I kind of match them up the best way I know how. Because, well, it's important to do things the right way, I think. Some people disagree. That's okay. You can disagree all you want. Just let let it just speak for itself. And for anybody who's actually watching this video, I did mention earlier, or in a previous video, but I am going to try to link them all together here so we can kind of get one big video. I did mention earlier that if you're going to do if you have material and stuff to save and make yourself a little shed like I'm doing here out of it, great way to make some extra money. But you know, with the older material, there's a little more work into it. You really got to put some more work into it because you got to clean things up, make them look relatively new again, and that takes time. It takes a lot of time. For me to go and build a 8x6 baby barn, start to finish, with brand new material, I'm talking probably 4 hours, 5 hours at the most, if I do it myself. Like yesterday was a little longer than it should have been because I got a young guy working for me who's just learning how to roof. So that took a little longer than it normally would have. But that's the process of learning, right? We all got to start somewhere. I didn't know how to roof the first time I picked up a roofing gun. And neither did he. Of course, it wasn't his first time, but he's still learning, right? You can't fault a guy for that. And he's an eager beaver. He's ready to go. If I called him right now, it's probably close to 3 o'clock my time. If I called him right now and said I need him for you know, however many hours I need him for, he'd be here. And you can't find that in the younger generation nowadays. So it's you don't mind spending a little more time and effort on a person that's willing to learn, that's willing to do what you ask of them, and willing to show up. That's one of the biggest things I found in this generation with all the young guys I've you know, taken on since they might have been 18, 19, up till they're like 30. Getting those guys to come to work was the hardest part. That's work for us, the bosses, or at least the foremans. That becomes work for you and I, and nobody wants to do that. Certainly, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to be, you know, chasing guys down to come work for me. I'd rather just say, here's the job site. I'll see you guys on whatever day we start. Let's say they're starting for the first time, so typically a Monday. But a lot of these young guys don't get that. They think, oh, you know, you're my boss, but I can just kind of make the rules up as I go along because you're a cool guy. You won't get mad at me. You won't fire me. And that's not the case. I've had to let some people go over the years. Not proud of that. I don't look forward to firing guys. Just do what you got to do. Anyways, that's just me talking. So now I'm going to install these doors. You see I got the hinges here. This side's going to last over, or flip over here. I'm going to attach it to this trim. I'm hoping these go in perfect. A lot of the times they don't. They take a little arson around to get them to, you know, line up, all your reveals and stuff line up perfectly. So let's see where we're at with this guy. Oh, if you remember, the board I cut out down there and brought it up here. Well, I didn't bring that one up because it was too short, but I put a new one in there. Up here, it's a backer board. You'll see why I did that now, because this door is going to rest against that and allow it to not, you know, push all the way back into the building itself. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Sometimes these go right, sometimes they don't. We'll see if this one's going to fight us or not. Now, I didn't paint these screws black, mainly because they're brown. So it's kind of going to match him pretty good. And I'm probably not going to come back and touch them up or nothing like that. So we'll just leave what we have here. And again, this is a recycled barn. It's not like it's brand spanking new, but you still want to try to make it look as new as you can. The friggin' bugs out here today. My God, the hornets and everything. It's just like their mission to sting you or something. There's one door on, and I got these little turnbuckles here. I think I showed you guys that I built those. I don't remember if I showed you or not, but there's 3 of them, and I'll install one here now, so you'll see what the purpose of it is, and why you need them, because it keeps your door shut. Little secret I learned from an old guy years ago: if you don't want to pre-drill this stuff, because typically it will split, just reverse your gun, put it in reverse and burn it in, and then go through, and that'll keep it from splitting. If you don't want to take the time to get a drill out with a bit, which if you don't have to do that, why do it? So I put this up here, just on the top piece of trim there, and I line it up with this little groove that's here, and flushed up at the bottom of this, and I put it in. And then I back it out just a hair so you get some play room. So that's why I put that on there. Keeps the door from wanting to open and close on you by itself. I'll tighten that up just a bit. Tighten them up, but relieve a little bit of stress on them. Not too much, because if you relieve too much stress on them, it eventually shrinks. The wood tends to shrink a bit. And if you get into that, like if you put that loose and that shrinks down, then it's just flopping in the wind. So you want to avoid that if you can. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. Let's see if these doors are going to line up the way I want them to, or if I got to try to adjust the trim a bit. Let's see. I hope so, because it's a pain in the ass when they don't. And of course they don't, so let's make it work. This is why I put screws in this trim. I used to nail them off, and then I used to have to come back and basically take all the nails back out, cut them all back out. Something went wrong with this. I had to adjust the trim. And it can be a pain. So this one here was damn close, so we'll leave that where she's at. Put her back in. This guy here, I'm going to say probably about there. And what you not want to do is adjust one side and not the other. Sometimes it works out and you don't have to do that, but most times it doesn't do that. It's going to be where you have to adjust both sides. Because I want a nice reveal between these two doors that allows them to open and close freely on each other. See, that one's still fighting me to the bitter end. So I think what we'll have to do here is adjust that side a bit now. Which sucks, because now you got to come over here and take all the screws back up. They're not fully open, close. Bump it over a bit. You don't got to go haywire. You do want to come over a bit so that the two doors will match up to each other. Now before I get all silly and screw those back in, I'm going to see if this door fits. Damn, it's getting closer. Not quite there, but it's getting closer. I think I'll probably end up taking this one, maybe this one back over a little bit. Oh, reverse that, and I didn't. Okay, let's see. Now, I'm gonna have to play around with this door a bit. Yeah, my freaking bit and my big packet's falling out. I don't know the way to fix that. I just don't have to do it myself. Get up there. Okay. So, that's how you do that. I'm hoping that it'll work out good for me now, I'm hoping. And if not, I'll adjust this side a little bit. Because as you see, the top's working for me. The bottom's the one fighting me. Yeah, so it's too tight at the bottom still. So I'll have to adjust this side a hair more if I can. And you gotta remember, you're gonna be fighting your wall here a bit too. So, like this piece here. You don't want to go too far, because then you're not going to be able to get the doors in where you need them. Come on. Okay. So, that's not too shabby. Also, a little tight at the bottom there, but I need to stick this hinge in here right quick. Okay. Yeah, that's just a hair too tight at that bottom there still. Shit. So, I'm going to have to take that side over a bit, I think. So what I'm going to do here is drag this guy over a bit this way towards the other door. Just see I did that. Closes that up pretty good. So now, in there. want to keep this guy moved out. Yeah, see that reveals off. It's about 1/4 inch here, maybe 1/8 of an inch down there. So now I'm going to drop this side over a bit. And by doing that, it's going to allow me to keep that reveal where I need it to be. Hopefully, anyways, that's the idea. Sometimes your ideas don't go the way you want them to. Just be careful working on your nice freshly painted hinges. You don't want them to get all disoriented on you and looking like shit. You want them looking good. Excuse my language, I don't know if I'm supposed to be cursing too much, but if things start bothering you when you're doing them, they get annoying. Alright, let's see if we can get this guy over here ready for us. I don't know if I can drag him over anymore. Let's find out. She's still damn tight at that bottom. We'll see if I can bring this guy over here more. Up top. Yeah, a little too tight there, so we'll go back here. Yeah, still a little too tight. Now you see the fun in doing this stuff for yourself, eh? Too loose now. Good golly. This is the lightness today. Not sure if I like that one. See what I mean? The bit always gets stuck up here. I feel like it's being pulled out of my drill. The impact. Yeah. I mean, I guess I could leave it like that. I think it looks alright. I mean, if she's put on a good solid ground, it shouldn't shift on you. So let's hope that's the case. Man, that bit's gonna drive me silly today if you keep doing that on me. And then you just bring over your other turnbuckle, stick him up here. You drive him in tight, you bring him back a hair. Ah, man, these Hornets are nuts. They're all over a guy today. Trying to be, anyways. Now I got that all done. I got this backer board over here, which is just a black board. I like to bring it over here. What I like to do is just take this 1x4, find out the height of it, and then I put it on the inside here. So there's a little space between those doors. This will prevent weather and stuff from getting in there. Well, I mean, in a perfect world that would happen. Typically, you're still going to get a little water in it, no matter what you do, or snow. It all depends on how well you seal it, I guess. But there really is only so much you can do with these because they're barn doors. You know, they're not meant to be super duper sealed. They're just meant to be a barn door, really. And what am I trying to say here? And they're meant to look good and keep things out as much as you can. But it's not a it's not a door that would go on a house or something. So I go about halfway through this one. I do is get my screw here. Now I'm screwing this today, but most times what I do is I staple it. Those staples I put the ridge wall on with. You bring it up about, I don't know, 1/4 inch away from the top. Stick it in. Down at the bottom will be the same. And you find the middle here, which is about here. You come back out here, you look, you make sure that the same distance here is here to down there, and that don't look too bad. Stick a screw in. You do the same thing down here. And probably just one more here will do it. Basically that's it. I don't like that too much. Okay, so there's a little lasp there, little turnbuckle, whatever you want to call it. One up there, same thing. One here, same thing. I will be putting a lock on the inside of the door, just on this one here that I put that board on to keep it fixed. So you have to reach in and unlock that to open both of them. But typically you're only going to ever really open one at a time, unless you're going to put something big in there, like a lawn tractor or something. So that's the doors. I do have handles and stuff. I typically don't put them on right now. Reason being is because I got to move this burn if I sell it. And if I have them on and I move it, and I can't get it perfectly where it's at now, I mean, you can get it close, but you're going to end up taking the hinges and stuff off anyway, or not the hinges, but the door lasp and the handles to make it fit where it needs to fit perfectly. So I'll just put them on site for whoever buys it, or whoever wants it or whatever. So for now, I'll just put them back in their box. And I got one last thing I'm going to show. No, I got two more things I'm going to show. And then we're done with this burn. This burn is complete, just about. Now, why I didn't have it done a little quicker than I did, and I just didn't have it done that fast. It took me a little longer than I wanted to for two reasons. One, I did have a new guy helping me, and two, I was building another one, an 8x12 sitting over there, and that was a shed. So trying to do the two of them at once kind of cuts into your time. So I take this little backer board here now, I put him up, I get a mark on him, and bring him over to my saw, and I cut this pretty much right on that line. And then the thickness of the blade will separate the two. So this will go on this side. And then over here, do the same thing. And this one will go on this side. And why I have that? Because as you notice, this door shut, there's a little space there. So I like to have a board behind that space, again, to try to at least manage the weather from getting in and out as much as you can. And you can staple them, you can nail them, you can screw them. You can do whatever you want to do, really, it's your call. I like to screw them for these types of burns. Again, typically I do staple them, but I don't feel like setting up my compressor and stuff right now. So because of that, I'll just go ahead and screw them in. And it'll do everything I need it to do anyway, so there we go. Well, I'm going to put this one in, but I hope you guys can see this side over here, because I got to have the door shut so I can make it tight. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this or not. I will bring you in a close-up of it. I just got the camera set up over there right now, but I put it in there. Once I give you a close-up of it, you'll see what I mean. If you haven't already understood that. Okay, that's that. And I got two more things to show you. I said two more a minute ago, but I was forgetting something. So that's basically where that's going to be at. So let's bring these over and give you a little close-up of what I just did there. Don't like leaving my camera in the sun too much, but gives you a good view. So yeah, this board here I just put on, it's like a little backer board to keep the weather out. So this is what it looks like on the inside. You see that? Now you can't see that space. And then when you shut this door over, that black board I put in the back there does the same thing. So it gives you a good understanding of what I'm saying there, I guess. Hopefully, anyways. And that's the doors. Doors are on. Now the only other thing I have to do is I'm gonna want to sweep it out and stuff, so you know I can take a few pictures and post it on Facebook and Marketplace, whatever it's called. And as I said, these screws and these lasps and other parts for the doors, I like to keep them in the box here until we're said and done. Put them in on site, you know, give people give them what they're paying for, really, and not have it all. You know, if I got to take it back off just to adjust it again, then you're getting into some problems. And the problems are you take a chance of scratching up the finish and stuff. So who wants to do that? Man, I'll tell you set stuff down and she just seems to grow legs, eh? She just disappears on a fella. I'm sure it's here somewhere. I just don't know where we're at. It's my stir-headed bit I was using for the doors. Sure I had that somewhere. Well, regardless, I don't really desperately need it at this moment, but I will need it in a few. So I can, what the hell did I do with it? So I can take the stuff off of that piece of board I used to stain everything with and put it all inside this box here for the delivery. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. Oh, here it is. Just got to take the sunglasses off sometimes, I guess. So I'll take these screws out and put all my other stuff in. I will show you what I mean by my handles and stuff. They're, you know, they're great to have. You can keep them. You know what? I think I might throw the handles on, actually. And by throwing them on, they're a little easier to adjust. And if I do scratch up the paint, you know, I do have a whole can, but I could touch it back up. And in order to touch it up, you just squirt a little on your finger and touch up the nail heads. That's how I do it. I mean, everybody's got their own way, I guess. So handles are pretty self-explanatory as well. I'm going to fill it. Just a black handle. Well, it's black now because I spray painted it. Black screws. Find the center of this 1x4 here. Stick it in. Make sure it lines up good down top and bottom, like it's not slewed one way or the other. And if you do that, you'll probably have a nice looking burn. You will have a nice looking burn. And I did triple coat those, so they're actually holding up pretty strong. Like the paint's not being ripped off the top of those screw heads or off the handles. We'll shut this door over again. Make our little turnbuckles in place. Again, I will have a door lock on the inside here, but I didn't put it on right now because that's something you do want to put in on site. Because if you got to drill a little hole in the floor so the little locking mechanism can come down and go into that hole. And if you can't get it perfectly level to where it's at right now, and you're delivering it on site, then you got to drill another hole. And you know, less holes the better, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. But yeah, so that's how that looks. The two door handles, a little door lasp I got here, painted it on both sides. I might have to touch it up a bit here and there, but it just goes on there. The locking part comes on there. Locks keeps you have to get a lock for it yourself because it doesn't come in the burn kit. But whatever, it's all part of the game, I guess. So that's what that looks like. And now one other thing I have to do is I had mentioned earlier in my video is that I have these black boards that are right here. Just a piece of OSB, paint it to match the color of the roof. So if you had a brown roof, you'd paint it brown, blue, so on and so forth. Sometimes you don't have that option. I typically just paint it whatever color my trim is. So if I didn't have black on me and my roof was black, I just paint the boards white and stick them on, and they seem to be they blend into your trim so well that people don't seem to mind so much that they don't match up to the roof. It's just a board that holds them shingles down, and I'll show you what I mean here in a sec. Man, oh man, I'm bad for setting things down and not knowing where I put them. Right in front of me though. So I get these boards started with my screws, so that way when I'm up there on the roof, or up to the roof, I don't have to arse around trying to hold it and then put the screws in. So this is an 8-foot long board, which is not quite the length of that roof. I mean, the building itself is 8 feet. Excuse me, but the with the front and back overhang, fascia, soffit, whatever you want to call it. I call it overhang because it's not really fascia or soffit. It's just a decorative trim, and that adds about another 7 or 8 inches. So this won't cover the roof completely, but it'll do what I need it to do. So what I do now is take this over, and as you saw, these shingles are kind of molded down. When I go to move this, if I'm not careful, it'll take that right off there. The wind will. So I like to put this up here. And I know everybody out there is going to be like, oh, you're drilling through the shingles, man, that's going to destroy your roof. Not true, because if you put this screw in there, as it's going in, it picks up the asphalt off the shingle and seals itself. Now, if for whatever reason you decided to take this board off, you would definitely have to put some tar over top of those holes, or something over it anyways, to hold it, keep it clean, keep it from the roof leaking on you. But most people leave them on because, like I said, I do paint them the same color as the roof, and it's left to the person to decide what they want to do. And I built that 8x12 over there yesterday, and I'll tell you, sometimes when you're hot and overworked and tired, things seem to get away from you. And over there in that sidewall, on my front sidewall, it's 12 foot long. Seems like I get a little wow in the top plate. I wouldn't even say it wouldn't be a big difference, like if I just left it and put the trusses on it. You might have one stand up about a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch higher than the rest, but I typically find you put your OSB down, you throw your shingles on top of that, you don't see it. But being who I am, I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist by any means, but I certainly like to have things done a certain way, a quality of work that I try to pride myself on. So I'll probably end up chalking a line, finding out the high point of that, and then what do you call it, planing it down. I'll plane that all down, so when I put the roof on, you're not going to have that problem. Now, you don't have to do that. I mean, if that was like 3 or 4 inches in the difference, well, you got some bigger problems than just planing the top plate down. But you know, you don't have to do that. But again, I want to do things the way that I like to do them. The way that I would want somebody to sell me a burn is the way I would want to sell somebody a burn. You know, there's been times I've been at the mercy of tradesmen or mechanics. You know, I mean, we've all been at the mercy of those guys. So if I have somebody relying on me to do something for them, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Now, I'm not this world-class carpenter. None of that. Like, you know, there's guys out there that are better than me, and I'm okay with that. But I can still take pride in what I do know. So anyway, same thing on this side with this board. Just come over and find where you need to put it on. Those screws in, you don't want to just rely on the OSB to hold that board in. You want to make sure you're getting it right on the rafters, trusses, so that way it's screwed